All right, time for a new project. So this is a piece of cherry. It's just an old piece of cherry. Nothing fancy about it whatsoever, except it's got this big old knot right here. And I'm not going to get, I'm not going to try to do some live edge thing, although it might be, that's pretty burly. None of this bark's going to stay on. It's going to be shrapnel all night long. So what I'm going to do here is, I always have a hard time figuring out center on this odd piece of wood. So I'm going to use a little bit of highly technical stuff today. I'm going to use this laser to kind of eyeball out the center mass on this thing. So that looks kind of like the center right there, but where the laser line is, you know, about equal here and about equal here. So I'm just going to make a little mark right up here. And then I'm going to rotate this thing about 90 degrees or so ish. And I'll line this with the laser again, right up about where center mass is, about equal on either side. Okay. And I'll just I can follow that laser line right across there. How about that? And then I'll take and rotate it again just for fun. And I'm lining up center mass. Nothing, that looks like it's about the middle. So, and I'm just gonna take my pencil and let that laser chase it all the way across to the other side. So that's the way I found my middle of my piece. Now, is it anywhere near the middle of it up here? Not really, but I think it's gonna be more center mass. So there's what I've kind of calculated where the center is, which if I measured it wouldn't be there at all. It'd probably be somewhere over here. So let's see how that works out. Okay, so yeah, here we are. Piece of ugly old cherry, and we'll see what's hiding behind all this ugliness. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talk in this video. I think I'm just going to make a little bowl here for you. This is going to be the top, this is the bottom, putting it on the woodworm screw, and yeah, let's see what it turns into. And like I said, I'm going to see if I can see how real time I can make this. Here we go, 100 RPM. That's a hard piece of wood. And we're going to take our hands off that. That's a gnarly piece of wood too. Finish cranking her down here, get it all the way seated up, and that looks pretty good. So I'm going to have my face shield on. We'll start this out at 500 to start knocking off chunks here. I'll buff up the speed just a bit. Oh, you better. looks like. Oh yeah, looks like a bumble butt. We're going to take this down, make this the flat part of our little bowl here. What kind of bowl would you call this? Oh, they got cherry juice coming out at us all over the place. This is going to be a cool. Maybe we will have a little live zone here. Yep. I really like to see most of that bark go away, but yeah, I'd like to get a little, let's get it a little tighter. Yeah, probably about like that. Let's have a quick look. Notice I'm not using my hand to slow that down. Well, we're getting a shape here. I like that. I want to get through some more of this bark though. I don't mind having a little bit of it left, but I think I want to get through some more of this. And that's what we're going to do. Yep, we're going to work our way through that. Oh. Yeah, I like it. I like the cracks. I think I'll fill those a little bit though. I think I'll use some milliput and just fill all of them. Still got a little bit of bark here, but I'm not sure I'm just liking that. This has got some pitch running out of it right here. Pitch running out of it right here. Let's see. What do we know about that? Okay. We don't know nothing and we're not going to worry about it. We're going to take care of that later. Got some nice personality going here. Okay, good. Let's put a tenon on it. Let's get a tenon on it. Whoa, we ain't got much room for a tenon there, do we? Bump speed up a little bit. Yeah, I think I'll hold. Maybe a little bit deeper. Okay, let's take the smoothing tool onto it here. This way. Let's see if we can't make this be pretty. Get it all gussied up. It feels pretty good. Okay, now look her. Got this little tick right here. I think I want to make that go away. Got a couple of cracks and stuff in it going on down here. I'm going to see if I can't get this to go away just a little bit, make this just a little bit smaller. Thin that down a little bit. Kind of like the smell of that cherry when it's being turned. I think we'll go a little bit smaller. And I'm staying with this scraper to shape this bottom down because I don't want to, there's a bunch of tear out right here and I don't want to make it any worse than it is. So if I stay with this scraper, it's a lot finer cut and I might not have as much tear out. He says with a grain of salt. Yeah, I think I like that. I think we're going with it. Yeah, I think that'll work. And that smoothed that out quite a bit. I think we're gonna live with it. I'm gonna grab a pick real quick and pull some of this pitchy stuff out of here. Probably will come out when I turn the inside. This is going to be interesting because that crack is going to go all the way through it. More resin, it's just gold and hard. We'll see how it turns out. I don't know, should I use some filler in this and like some Black Star Bond or Milliput or something like that and fill all these cracks? Or should I leave them hollow? Write down in the comments what you think. I appreciate your input. All right, we're gonna turn it. I think I got enough. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make that just a little bit deeper. I'm gonna make that tenon just a little bit thicker. I wonder if one of those Techna Tools fancy tenon cutter jigs would be hard. Tools would be helpful. Couldn't hurt. It'd be nice to make that bottom side just a bit more flat, more flatter. Let's see if we can get this off here without a. Let's see, that was tight and this is loose, and I think I'm going to need a strap wrench. This is sure a handy tool for this sort of thing. There we go. Too bad you can't put a woodworm screw through the bottom. That really, really held good. Okay, let's see if this fits. Look at that. We might be getting lucky. I'm gonna use my tailstock to help me out here a little bit. Okay, we're spinning 800. Should we drill it or just go for it? What do you think? Write down in the comments what your choice would be. Let's see what happens. If I tear it out of the chuck jaws, then we'll admit it's a mistake. Let's just go ahead and see how far we can go. I think it's safe to bump the speed up here a bit. Running 1200 RPM. we're kind of maxed out on that tool. Let's take a look and see what we got going on here. Ooh, that's pretty on the inside. It's pretty all over. This is a nice piece of wood. A real nice piece of wood. Them cracks are starting to show through here. That's going to look good, I think. Anyway, I'm going to change to carbide tools. We'll get out the hollowing tool. I'm going to drop the name. It's Easy Wood. I'm not sponsored. It's a nice tool. Okay, I think we're done. I think we got it done. Shall we put the gauge on it and see what it says? Oh yeah, we came through right there. That's perfect. That's just how I want it. Oh, I could take a little thinner right up here. Oh, I like this one. I'm not even gonna have to put the gauges on it. It's perfect. I'm gonna take a little bit right out of this area right here. Or maybe I'll take it on the outside. It feels, I don't know, how does it feel? Nope, I'm going to take it right here with this hollowing tool, and then we're going to sand it and finish it and put this baby to bed. Okay, I think that might be it. One little ring around there. I want to get that out. I'm trying. Oh, it's right on that crack too, so right there. Okay, let's get it out of there. Yep, I can feel it going through. I think we did it. Yep. Okay, I'm going to use a scraper on it. See if we can't get this thing cleaned up a little bit. And we'll sand it. Call it a day. We're still running 1200 RPMs. I gotta get in closer. I hope you can see me in there. Yeah, baby, I think that looks great. All right, that wraps it up through 400. Let's have a look. Alrighty, I think it looks great. Blow it off here, get the dust off of it. And I think we're going to use some sanding sealer, some bullseye sanding sealer. We're going to dump this. Okay, this sandpaper is all spent. Used it up. I think I've done 2 smallish projects on it. And that's the end of that. Okay, we're using the bullseye shellac. Zinsser's Seal Coat Bullseye Shellac. And we like this stuff because it seals things up just amazingly. Goes in and fills any pores or minor tear outs. Makes things nice and ready for the next step. Ready for polishing. So I think we'll just put the lid back on the can and let that set up, and we'll come back later on and put on another coat. In the meantime, I'm going to go start editing so you can have this video out tomorrow. That is beautiful. That is just amazing. I love it. All right. Okay, we put 2 coats of sanding sealer on that. Shellac-based sanding sealer. We're going to just lightly go over this with this gray, what do you call it? I don't know what you call it. You tell me what you call it. Mention it in the comments. What do you call this stuff? Handy. I'll call it handy. It knocks off all the ridges off the shellac. Kind of takes the bumps out of things. Make sure there's no extra little things on there that aren't supposed to be on there. Cleans it all up. I like this little feature right here. That turned out good. And you don't have to do this by hand. You can put it in a drill and do it real fast, but I don't see much need to. It's kind of scritches off there real nice. Kind of be a little picky about it. If you see lines, work them out. And that looks pretty good. Okay, done with that. Let's go get blow this off a little bit. So this is Yorkshire grit that we're going to put on this. I'm just going to use a polish rag to put it on there with. Pretty easy to put on. You just sort of do it just like shoe polish. Remember when you were in the service, back in the service days, shining your damn shoes at boot camp? Anyway, kind of like that. Only more fun. Yeah, that looks mighty good right there, I think. I'm going to turn the lathe on about 250 or 300. 350 sounds good. I'm going to have it in forward. And we're just going to kind of rub it in, massage it into the wood, whatever, kind of clean it up. And this is sort of like sanding it to 1,000 or something. So they tell me. It is a grit. And it also polishes, sanding and polishing. So this rag is dry, so I'm going to use it to kind of buff things out with here. And I know this thing has holes in it and I have to be careful. I don't want to catch anything. I don't want any catches. But I'll go one more layer. I'm going to put on some some microfine Yorkshire grit. I'll set my dry towel over there. Switch to the microfine Yorkshire grit. Same thing as before. You're just going to work this stuff into the wood. This is going to polish it down to the 1500 grit category, I think. I'm buffing out at about 700 RPM. Studio. So I'm going to shut this off and get parted out, and I'll see you up in the studio in a little bit. Alright, here it is. It's the Bookcase Cherry Bowl. It's about, oh, I don't know, how big is it? It's about maybe 3.5 inches around and maybe about 4 inches tall. The bark, there's a little bit of bark left on it here and there, not very much. There's some resin that shows through. If you shine a light on it, it shines kind of cherry colored. Fun to make. Hey, write down in the comments what you thought of using that laser to find the center of the mass for that piece. I kind of like the way it turned out. I think I got the most out of that wood that I could get out of that wood and have a pretty bowl. The bark was just way too thick to do anything like a live edge thing, other than there are little pieces of live edge here and that little piece there, and it just, I think that just accents the beautiful cherry wood. Anyway, tell me what you thought of that way. Is it a way you would try, or do you think it's just goofy? Yeah, it's fun making these videos. I love making them. It's a lot of work. I'm learning all the time how to make them better. If there's anything you know of that I'm not doing that would make them better, let me know. Also, you have to consider the limitations of my equipment. I don't have the best camera gear in the world, but it's somewhat functional. I can get a video out and you can see how I make these. Also, if you like the video, I appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. That'd help me out a bit. If you got a comment, I'd love to hear from you, and I always respond. The subscribing's free. If you hit that subscribe button, you'll get notified when a new video comes out. I try to put a video out every week. It usually goes out. I usually set them up to go out on Tuesday at midnight, so they're there for you on Wednesday morning. Yeah. Hey, what can I say? Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.